Okay, so we got this side filed, we finished that up, and you can see we still have some file marks in there, but not the end of the world. So you can see our finished side compared to our unfinished side. So I'm gonna continue here, continue to get this side filed and cleaned up. Once we get this side finished, we will show you how to lay out the back corners and file those also. The nice part about the back corners, they're fairly quick, it doesn't take too long. So let me get to it here on the front side and we'll see you back here in just a few. Okay, so at this stage of the game we have both sides filed and that's what it looks like. Okay, really can't use power tools on this. Like I said, it's a hand tool project. Now the next thing I'm going to do is lay out the back side of this. So you can see I renewed my 1-inch lines all the way around. The next thing I'm going to do is draw the grid on the back. We're going to draw that the same way as we did it on the board. So let me lay it out here, then I'll come forward and I'll show you. We're going to set our combination square to 1/8 of an inch. Put that on the outside edge of our project. And we're going to make a grid all around the back corners. Once we do this, show you what it looks like. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take the corners of my layout from where they come up to the edge, and I'm going to come to my 1-inch mark on the side, and that is going to tell me where I need to file and remove material. So let me clamp this up in a vise. And this puts basically a very nice chamfer on the back edge, gives a nice clean look for a very nice finished product. The nice part is we're not removing a whole lot of material for this, so this step is fairly quick. We can take and knock these out pretty fast, so let me finish laying these out for you. We'll show you what the layout lines look like, and then we'll probably file all 4 of these on here just to show you how fast it takes. It's definitely faster than cutting our sides with a hacksaw and also filing the nose of the hammer. Okay, so our layout's complete. Let me show you this. So here's what we're looking to lay out and file. Okay, those corners off. So I'm gonna actually put this in a vise on an angle so that my cut is facing upward. And you don't have to kill it in a vise. You can just go snug with it. And now I'll start to file it. So remember, we're filing heavier on the back side and lighter on the front side by the way that taper is. So, nice light pressure. Let's tighten our vise up here so we don't lose our stuff. A little different pitch of the metal. And if you don't have it perfectly in the vise, that's fine. That's the reason we made the couple of layout marks on there so you can see what you're actually going to cut. So that is one side completed. See how we have that filed? You see where it's real bright there? Okay. We can just see barely the edges of our layout lines, and that's fine. Let's clean this file here, trying to quiet this thing up. moving right along, we'll do the next two. Must be a little bit of a different grade of the material. Sometimes you get the metal cuts nice, sometimes you get a hard spot. So where we're squeaking a lot, must have a hard spot in the material. This might be just a little softer here. Okay. Not really changing anything different than I'm doing. And I like to hold it up and just kind of check it and make sure we're going to the right layout. Sometimes you file one side just a little bit more than the other. Might be a line thickness issue from the marker or the scratch awl or pencil you use to lay out, which isn't the end of the world. We'll just file a little bit more, that's all. Okay, so we basically have the hammer shaped, and this part of the project is complete. You can see our outside edges. We've got this filed. You can just barely see the edge of the layout line, which is good. Okay, our layout's still in the back, and we have the nose of the hammer filed on. Okay, so most of the work is complete with this as in regards to the heavy work. The next thing we want to do is we're going to show you how to drill this and tap it. We want to put internal threads inside of here. So we'll show you how to do a drill and a tap. Once that's done, we'll show you how to sand this thing, and then the hammerhead will be complete. All right, folks. Okay, folks, the next thing we're going to do is center punch our hammerhead and complete all the machine work before we start to sand this thing. So what I need to do is measure my total length, and we're going to divide by 2. So mine is going to be 1 5/8 because I'm roughly 3 1/4 long. Now I have my initials in the side of this. We're going to put it so that our initials are facing up the correct direction, and the nose of the hammer is going to sit like this. We don't want to drill like that. So we're going to go ahead and make our mark here, 1 5/8. And if you want to double check to make sure you're centered, you can take your square, flip it the opposite direction, and your line should be in the same exact spot. We also want to take and measure to the center of the material, which we know our material is 1 inch. So we're going to set our square to half. Okay, once again, if you want to double check your measure, you flip your square over and your lines should line up. Okay, now we have that complete. We want to take and center punch this. So we're going to grab a center punch. We're going to put that directly in the center of our line, and we're going to do 1 hit with the hammer. We're not going to hit it twice. 1 hit and that's all. Safety glasses on here. And now we're ready to drill. So we'll see you back at the drill press. Okay, folks, next step, we're going to drill our hole. Now, we're going to do what's called a through hole. We're not going to stop halfway through the hammerhead. We're going to drill entirely through the entire hammerhead. So, first thing I'm going to do is put our material inside of a vise. Okay, these are located on the drill presses. Now, there's a hole in the center of the drill press, and we want our material to sit over top of that hole. And that way, when we drill it completely through, we don't drill into the table. Okay? Actually, we're going to prop this up with a piece of material. It's a little smaller than what we have there. What that's going to do is prevent us from drilling into the table. This will work. So we'll set our little piece of wood in there. We'll put our project inside next, tighten this up. Okay, and we now need to place our drill bit inside the drill press. So it's going to be a 3/8 diameter threaded hole. So in that case, we need to drill one size smaller. In this instance, that would be a 5/16 hole. So we're going to take our 5/16 drill bit. We're going to put that into the chuck on the drill press. Okay, we'll get it started first, and then we will tighten up our drill bit with our chuck key. Okay, get that out of the way. We're also using just a little bit of cutting oil on this, because that bit's going to get warm as we start to drill that steel. So we're going to take our vise. We always want to keep the handle of the vise to the left side of the drill press, just in case this thing was to break loose. We wouldn't want it to hit anybody, hit ourselves, what have you. Okay, so we found the center of our hole. We're now ready to drill. So we're going to power on, and very slowly we're going to work the feed hand wheel down. Also put your left hand on the vise to prevent this from moving. And we're going to drill very slow. We're not looking to pull down as hard as we can. We're just going to let the drill work. So we're going to pull down a little bit. Then we're going to let that drill press up. Okay, it's going to clear out some of the shavings. We'll continue to do that until we are completely through the work. Nice and slow. You do not want to rush this process. A couple different things could happen. First off, if you go too quick, that drill bit's going to lose its sharpness. It's going to overheat. Second thing, if that drill bit grabs inside of here, it can potentially stall out the drill press, or as I lift up the feed hand wheel, it's going to bring that work up with me. We do not want to do that. Okay? Notice I don't have any hands near the drill bit. I have one hand on the feed hand wheel, my other hand is on the vise. And my hand on the vise is open. In case this thing was to take off, it's going to continue to go to the left and it's not going to hit me. Yeah, we're getting to the end here. Okay, we just broke through. Going to shut our drill press off. Grab our piece of material. Now, there's a good chance that this is going to be warm. I'm going to grab it here. If it's too warm, we'll just leave it set, or we'll grab a pair of pliers. Okay. Now, this is covered in shavings because obviously we just drilled it. And we'll use that. So that's what our hole looks like drilled in our hammer. Okay, you can also see it's a through hole. Now that our hole is drilled, we are going to prepare to thread it. Now, we're going to do a threading demonstration and talk about threads. So we'll do that demonstration first. We'll talk about threads, and then we'll thread our hammerhead.